Today I'm bringing you another update, and it's probably been a few days. I had a pretty busy weekend. I actually had 3 events that I worked at this past weekend, which was the Tempe Festival for the Arts, the Asian Arizona Festival, and then also at the Chandler Parade. So this was just this past weekend. I had all 3 events going at one point. That was on Saturday. So it was pretty fun, pretty busy. But you might be wondering why this is so dark. I know that usually I take my videos during the daytime, but I've been wanting to do just my first impressions video for the A7S II, and so that's this camera right here. I got it probably about maybe 2 weeks ago, and I've actually got a chance to try it at the Chandler Parade, so I'll definitely show you guys some of that footage. But I want to go ahead and just tell you guys a little bit about why I have this setting so dark right now. So I'm shooting right now with the A7RII, and I have it on the proper settings, of course, for shooting 24 frames a second. The lens is an f4 lens, so I'm using, at its widest aperture. So it's f4, 25,600 ISO, and of course I have the 1/50th of a second because I'm shooting at 24 frames a second. The reason I put that lens purposefully there on that camera is because a lot of the Sony FE lenses for full frame cameras, a lot of those lenses are f4, and so there's a lot of people that have been talking about why that Sony doesn't have very wide open lenses, low light lenses, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that lens on the A7S II, and then we're gonna go ahead and also try it out, because this will open up then that possibility of using those f4 lenses for low light video, low light photography. And so I'm gonna be showing you guys the big difference, of course. So first I'm gonna go ahead and switch it, put the same settings here, which is 25,600 ISO, f4, 1/50th of a second. I'm shooting on the regular codec, which is the AVC HD. I didn't shoot on the other one because I had to swap memory cards, but I'll talk a little bit about the requirements for shooting on the new format and the new codec that they have, which I believe is called XAVCD. And so that's for the really higher resolution HD, full HD, which is the 1080p, and then of course the 4K. But let me go ahead and switch now the camera so that we can continue the review because it's pretty dark. Alright, so I am back, and as you guys can see right off the back, of course, you can see that the noise, definitely a lot less noise. And so this is the same setting that I had on A7RII, and 25,600 ISO, f4, 1/50th of a second. And so now I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the exposure, because this way we can finish and you guys can see the rest of the things that I have all on this table, and have some really cool things that I got, providing you some more new links, some things that I've been learning. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Alright, so I'm back. So now we are at 80,000 ISO, still at the f4 and the 1/50th of a second. And again, this is really amazing, because now all those f4 lenses that that was a complaint about, now you can use them in low light. You can use them, even more importantly, in low light video, because video is really what normally it gets degraded. The image gets degraded greatly. I mean, it's taking all those thousands of images, and then it's normally not using the full sensor. Cameras like these, of course, they do utilize the full sensor, and so that's one of the greatest benefits, and one of the things that I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys, that big difference. Now, some of the things that I got, first of all, of course, I worked at the Asian Festival, and I utilized my GoPro. I bought this, which was the open, I think it's called the open skeleton frame, and so what it does is that it allows you to just utilize it like this, so that you don't have to put it inside the waterproof case, because you're not going to be shooting underwater, so why put it on the waterproof case? The waterproof case is usually what comes with this with the GoPros. That's what comes standard with them. So you can buy this. It's about $30, and it's just the frame, really. The bottom piece is just the normal mounting bracket, but it's just the frame. And then now you can have actually better audio, and even if you don't utilize all the audio from here, the GoPro does record in stereo, but you can have a good reference audio for then mixing later on. And actually I do use the audio from the GoPro. Many times I have used the audio because I just need a little piece coming through the music, or a little bit of audio, just ambient sound. So I utilize this, and something really nice about this is that because it's not encased, it's open, then it doesn't overheat as much. And with video, if you're continuously shooting video with a GoPro, if you are on an event and the event keeps going long and you're in the sun, it will overheat and it will shut down because it has a mechanism to protect it. Some of the other cameras, actually, there were some other Chinese versions similar to the GoPro. Those don't have that protection, and they were really good too. Just this one has the protection. They built it in, so what can we do? It's nice to have it, but the problem is that here in Arizona, specifically in places where it's hot, you definitely want to have that extra ventilation, and this case helped me to do that. I utilized it at the festival, at the Asian festival. I'm going to show you guys some of the shots that I got here now. And so these are some of the really cool shots that I got. I'm still putting together the promotional film for the festival, but these are really cool shots that I got with my GoPro, and I have it set up with my iGlide. This is a really nice setup, the best setup that I've been able to find, with still utilizing your gimbals, your mechanical gimbals. You can now go into electronic gimbals, and those are really neat. I'm going to be trying out hopefully soon I want to try the Feiyu. There's several versions, but there's the G4S that I want to try out. I don't think they sell it very everywhere right now. You can buy it online. Now I did check out some of the footage comparing the GoPro Hero 4 Black Edition 4K footage at 30 frames a second comparing to the 4K footage at 30 frames a second from the DJI Osmo, and the footage was just not the same quality. Still, the GoPro provides much better quality, but again, the DJI is getting very close. And the advantage of not having to rebalance your stabilizer, that is key. That is very important, and that's why these electronic stabilizers are becoming so popular, because they are doing a lot of work. They're taking a lot of that work for you so that they will not be thrown off balance as easily. Because with the iGlide that I use for this, I'm balancing that thing all day. I mean, really, every shot or every few shots, I will check it and it will be out of tune. So it just happens. But so that's what I got for the GoPro. I also was it was really neat because I bought this is about $50, and it is the dual charger for the GoPro batteries. And so just utilizing my cell phone charger here, I was able to just, because the GoPro goes through batteries pretty fast, so you can put several batteries here, a couple of batteries, have it connected to your cell phone charger or your external battery charger, put it in your pocket and keep shooting, and then knowing that you're charging two batteries at the same time. I know that I talked about this one in the past. It's called the Uno, and so it's a really nice, the most compact one that I found for 10,000 mAh, so you can charge your GoPro battery several times, and moreover you're charging two at the same time, so that's even better. So I got that. I tried it at the festival. That was the footage that I just showed you guys right now. I also, so with these Sony cameras, obviously you're utilizing more juice and the battery is smaller, so you're utilizing more juice because it's all electronic, and it also has not only your LCD here, but it pretty much has another, screen inside. In addition to, you have your Wi-Fi on all the time, which is why these cameras have airplane mode. You definitely want to put it on airplane mode if you're not going to be transferring any files wirelessly to your cell phone. So put it on airplane mode. But these cameras by themselves and the battery size, they go through pretty fast. So I bought about 7 of these, and then I got a charger. Now the charger that I got for this, very interesting, because right off the back, the charger that comes with these cameras that are new, it's already it's not out of stock. It's already discontinued. So they give you a new camera. You want to buy the same charger, it's discontinued already the moment I opened it. So they have another type of charger, which I'm going to put here. Check it out. That charger is actually a little bit better, but it does have one thing that it mentions in the manual, and you wouldn't know based on just a regular charger. The thing is that it shows you that once all 3 lines are on, all the 3 LEDs are on, then you have full charge. But the manual says that if you really want a full charge, you gotta wait 1 more hour, and then once all the LEDs are off, then you really have a full charge. So that's something interesting, that if you guys happen to have any of these batteries for your cameras, these all use the same as the NPFW50. All these cameras, A7 series, they use the same. Then if you get that charger and you want the extended, the really full charge, that's what I consider fully charged battery. You have to wait an hour after all the LEDs are on, an hour after, and then you do get that full charge. So I wanted to go ahead and mention that so that you guys don't come across the price that is not a full charge. Then I also got this strap, and this strap, I know that I mentioned about the quick release matten strap, neoprene, beautiful strap, the one I got that kind of looks like, you know, holster, a gun holster, but this strap is actually much better because the other one was too bulky. It was at the bottom of the camera. It just simply kept, you know, kept getting on the way. I would take it off and then I would forget it at home. So I decided to look for another neoprene, and this one actually was not at the top of the list on Amazon. They should be at the top of the best sellers. But neoprene, so it breathes, it's so soft, it stretches, and at the same time, well, of course, you can use it actually even double-sided, but it's black. So you put it on your neck. You can have your camera on a tripod just like this. Still leave these things if you want hanging, or you can take them off. But the beauty of it is that it just pretty much clips onto it. So you can have one strap for 2 cameras. So if you buy 2 of them, they're only $10. And I'll go ahead and show you guys the link so that you guys, you know, in case you're interested. But now you have a pretty quick, easy way to take it off the strap and put it on. And it is only $10. And it also has these, which many of them don't have. A little pouch on this side and on this side for SD cards, memory cards, and actually for batteries too. So there it is. Now you have 2 extra batteries for your A7 cameras, or any camera really, for what it is, because I think it'll fit even the Canon ones. So that is perfect. It stretches. So I got that, and that was really nice. This is my favorite one. I don't think I'm going to be using the other one very much, but it is there, you know, and we just, that's how it is, you know. You research, you find sometimes some that work good, some that don't work that good. But that was the strap that I got that I wanted to share with you guys. Now, just today I saw announced, and it was really interesting because I've been waiting for this. GoPro, they said at the beginning of the year that they would develop their own drones. Finally, they did announce it today, and they did a pretty simple commercial, but I'm sure that they just wanted to get it up and running fast and get the promotion out, because that's one thing that I've learned. Is not about getting the perfect job, it's about getting a fast job, timely. It's still well done, but timely. You don't have to keep tweaking it until it's perfect. It's the first one. You'll have many more opportunities. I'm sure, now going back to the drone, I'm sure that the drone is going to be great. DJI, it's been pretty much the company that has been releasing a lot of great drones for GoPro, but GoPro always wanted to get their drone out because it's their own. They can customize it, they can make it work perfectly with their cameras. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's called the Karma drone from GoPro, and I'm just gonna put a link here to probably the video, the only video that I've seen, and this one was just today. One thing about these cameras that I wanted to talk about was the fact that, so they pretty much make you buy a 64 gigabyte card. It might be that the new codec requires that. It might be that it produces more heat. I'm really not certain about all those technical aspects, but the fact is that they ask that you cannot shoot the 4K in any of these cameras. The beautiful 4K that they advertise, you cannot shoot it because it will tell you that the card is not compatible, even if you have the fastest card. I had the fastest card. I mean, I used my Extreme, you know, the SanDisk Extreme Pro. Great cards. They are for 4K footage, but you cannot record it as a 32 gigabyte one. So my 32 gigabytes, I now use them just for pictures. But if I want to switch to video, it's not very convenient, because if I want to switch at an event to video into that new format, it will not let you record. So that's something that is interesting, because what if I didn't, I mean, 64 gigabyte, you know, it's pretty good size. But what if I just want to record a quick 5 minutes? You don't need you're not gonna fill up 64 gigabytes, you know, of 4K footage in 5 minutes. But there are probably reasons that they wanted to make sure, for bringing up, you know, making sure that the people that shot it, that at least the experience overall did not get degraded because of that. So other than that, utilizing these lenses, the f4 lenses, and by the way, they just turned down some of the lights around here, so let me go ahead and adjust a little bit my exposure real quick. Alright, so I just had to bring it up. Actually, it was a 64,000 ISO. I thought it was 80,000. No, it was 64,000. Right now it's at 80,000. But it's still, as you guys can see, the quality is still very, very acceptable, very good. You will have some noise, but it's not crazy, terrible chromatic noise like you would normally get. Terrible purple, everything purple, the image, as we have seen in other cameras. Even on this one earlier was really grainy already. So utilizing these lenses, the f4 lenses, now you have that opportunity. Grab any lens. It doesn't have to be low light. and with A7S, A7S II, you can shoot in low light with those lenses. So that's something really neat. It was one of those wow moments. It was kind of really cool. Now this footage I'm going to show you guys next is from the parade, and I utilized the Ronin M, and I really like so much the stabilization on the Ronin M that I haven't really used any post-production stabilization at all, and this whole video was done like that. It really is a smooth, very smooth shots that you can get with the Ronin M. Haven't done any post-production, tweaking, stabilization at all. And as you guys can see, I was shooting on this footage that I'm showing you right now. I was shooting at f8 outdoors, 25,600 ISO and 1/50th of a second. So that's something so nice that f8. I mean, that would be normally you wouldn't shoot like that in outdoor settings, but because of the high sensitivity of this, I actually had to be watching my ISO so that I was bringing it between 20,000 to 25,600 because of the I was overexposing some of those highlights. That is something really cool, and that I really want to mention to you guys. Any of you guys interested on getting the A7S or A7S II, they're great cameras for low light, and they will really open up those possibilities. It will even open up the possibilities of shooting slow motion nighttime video. That's something I'm going to be trying next. But how cool is that? Normally the shutter speed is really high for you to do that, but since I was at f8, I could have dropped it down to 5.6 or 4, and then I could be shooting at 60, 120 frames a second. So that's really smooth slow motion at nighttime. So I just wanted to go ahead and share that with you guys. The autofocusing at nighttime with this camera works even better. So I really like it, and I just wanted to go ahead and also share that with you guys because you guys will enjoy shooting and how well it focuses in low light. Generally you would want to do like manual focusing, and although the manual focusing is great, you have tools like focus assist that at the moment you start manual focusing, it zooms in really close, helping you. In addition, you have focus peaking so that you know when you're in focus. Those are really neat features that help you and then make manual focusing even easier. But if I put this camera like it is right now on autofocusing continuous, then it's so nice that I don't even have to worry about that. And specific settings, of course, where right now I'm the only face here and I'm the only thing close. If there was other things nearby, then of course it would maybe throw it off a little bit, but the autofocusing really works very nice on this camera. So those are the few things that I have. I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of footage that I got from the Tempe Festival for the Arts. I always want to say Arts Festival, but it's Festival for the Arts. So that one was the other event that I also worked at, and that was with the GoPro. And that's why, if a lot of you guys see me utilizing the GoPro, not only do I love the products, but I also love what kind of shots it empowers me to do, because now I can get into any type of situation, get the shot and get out. Specifically, if you guys see on these shots, there were hundreds of people around. I would say at least a good 200 people around the artist that I was working with, my friend Ken Kosher. Around that many crowd, you don't want to be with a big gear, Steadicam, even the Ronin. Maybe one of the small handheld ones might work, maybe like the DJI Osmo. That's why those things are becoming so popular, and I definitely see those smaller stabilization systems overturning the way the market is going to be. Dropping the price on the big ones. Actually, the Mobi M5, which I've been keeping an eye on for a long time, it was $4,000. Now it's down to $2,500. And nowadays, it's not so much about which one does the best job, because all of these electronic ones will do a great job as long as you do the right settings and the pre-balancing first. But it's really which one you need for the job. And that is the nice thing about them. So it's not going to be so much about, okay, which one's better. No, they all do great, just which one is going to be the one that you need for that job. And just finally, what I learned this week, in addition to a few of these things, but finally what I learned this week, of course, is just constantly being reminded that to love hard work, and it's not really being workaholic, but it's just really knowing that somebody told me once that for everything good there's a price, and so the people that really are successful are the ones willing to pay the price. If you don't pay it, somebody else will. You gotta deserve the things, you gotta work hard, and just simply not everyone will do it. That is the reason that just not everyone is as successful, and I always encourage my friends, colleagues, everyone, all of the artists, that to really put 100%, not 90%, but 100% of their time. And it's actually easier. That's one thing that I learned as well this past last weeks, is that it's easier when you give 100% to have less of a pushback when you put 100% into it than if you put 90, because at 90% you're right on the border, and you always could fall the other way and forget to do something, or lose the habit, or stop exercising or something. But when you give 100%, then because you're at 100% and every day you try to be at that 100%, there's non-negotiable. You will just get up and do it every day. So make sure that you guys get your cameras out. And I think it's getting pretty dark now, but you know what, as it got pretty dark, let's go ahead and crank this up just a little bit more, just so I can finish my video. So there you go. I brought up my exposure. Right now I'm at 256,000, and I don't want to push it all the way to the 400,000 because that's pretty crazy. But there you go. Whatever the setting it is, you guys could definitely enjoy this camera. Anyone that needs to shoot low light, this is the camera for you. Alright, thanks so much guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.